Hi, I'm Matt Wiederhold with Main Street Medina. Welcome back to another edition of Medina Minute. Won't you join me inside to meet some of the faces, places, and businesses around the Medina Square? Today we're here with Jeanine Maczko, the owner of Heart and Soul Gift Boutique. Jeanine, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Matt.
Tell me a little bit, or tell the audience, how did you get this idea to open a store here in Medina, Ohio?
Well, my husband and I live in Medina. We've been here for almost 5 years now.
Oh, wow.
And I have a large retail background, and I always wanted to have my own store.
Yeah.
So things just kind of came together.
Great.
Living here, we just absolutely love the city of Medina and the fact that I wanted to have my own business.
Yeah.
When the plans went into place that new building, the Raymond building was being built, I was just lucky enough to get in contact with Dr. Raymond and have a conversation with him. He liked my business plan, and things just kind of went from there.
Nice. Now, you've been open year and a half?
A year and a half.
Year and a half, okay. How, there's certainly been some challenges. Yes. One with not being open when you originally were going to, and then everything else going on.
We missed our first holiday season.
Yeah.
So we were supposed to open in October of 18, and there was a bunch of construction delays.
Right.
So we bought all product for that first holiday season, and it had to basically just sit in storage.
Oh my gosh.
So we actually didn't open until the end of March of 2019.
Okay.
So that was our first challenge, was having to put things on hold constantly, call vendors and delay things. But we learned a lot that way of how to deal with different things like that. And then, we finally got open, things were going really well. And then we were gonna celebrate our first birthday at that location, and the pandemic had other plans for us. So we didn't get to celebrate our first birthday.
Right.
So we've had to overcome a lot of obstacles, but luckily, even with the pandemic going on, luckily we're still open.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, your store is very beautiful, and you carry so many different lines, but where does your aesthetic come from? Because when I go in a lot of other stores, it's I don't want to say it's over decorated, but sometimes it is so themed on a certain thing, but your store is so open and airy and displayed so well.
Thank you.
Where does that come from in you? Do you have an arts background, or is that just from your experience?
I don't have an arts background. My background is just mainly in business. I just like the product to speak for itself.
Okay.
I think if you're putting too much of your own personality into something, then it can overwhelm what you're trying to do, or what you're trying to let the customer see. So I always want the product to speak for itself. I like to keep my window displays simple. I don't like to have any of my own artwork up on the walls or anything like that. So when you walk in, a lot of people will say, oh, you have, your walls up there are blank. I know an artist who can do art for you. And I've had to turn down a lot of people because of that, because I just want the product to speak for itself. I buy a lot of things that I truly believe in, so I want customers to not be, their senses to be overwhelmed by other things. I just want me to be able to have a conversation with them about, this is what I truly believe in, and that's why I carry it in my store.
So what are some of your passions, or what are the things that you look for in a product that it kind of has to pass the Jeanine test to go on the shelf?
I don't always get it 100% right. I'll tell you that right now. There are some lines that I brought in that I thought were fantastic, and then once I got to know more about them, or if the person that I was dealing with on the other end that might have worked for that company, if they weren't as passionate about dealing with me as I was with them, then that's like the kiss of death with me.
Okay.
I would get rid of them right away, because if they aren't super passionate about their customer, which is me,
absolutely,
taking care of me, then that is like goodbye. Because I know, like, if I have a problem with something, if a product is defective, or if I need something for a customer right away and they're not on it, then I'm not special to them, so I don't want to carry their products anymore. But for the products that I truly believe in, they have to have a story. So most of the things that I carry will have a story behind them. For example, we carry Farmhouse Fresh. And I've wanted to carry that product from the beginning, and I couldn't get it in the beginning.
Okay.
And then finally, when I got hooked up with a gal at Farmhouse Fresh who's super nice, she was like, yes, you definitely need to have this in your store, because I'm passionate about what they stand for. All their ingredients are grown in the United States on their farm in Texas. If they can't grow it on their farm, then they get it from another farm in the US. They don't use pesticides. They're very passionate about animals, so they have a sanctuary on their farm where they take in rescues and they take care of those rescues, obviously. They also give to other sanctuaries in the United States.
Oh, wow.
Their employees just bend over backwards for you.
Yeah.
If you call and say, hey, you know, something got shipped to me and it was damaged, they're so apologetic when you know it wasn't even their fault.
Wow. Right.
But they're just so apologetic. They're down to earth. So I just like to deal with companies that care about what they're selling, what they're making. They care about the person on the other end of the phone, which would be me. They care that they want to see you be successful because they want to have that relationship.
Yeah.
So,
so with your product, you know, you carry women's accessories, you know, jewelry, cosmetics, home decor, gifts. What's your favorite thing to go out and find for the shop?
I always like to find different things. So I like to be on trend with things, but I don't like to be trendy.
Okay, and
So,
tell me a little bit more. What does that mean?
Years ago, I worked for Hallmark.
Okay.
I was a store manager and then eventually a district manager for Hallmark. And one of the things that Hallmark got into when I worked for them was Beanie Babies. And Beanie Babies were just, yes, they were so popular. And, you know, I don't begrudge Hallmark for getting into that. It was a great way to make money. People really loved them. They liked to collect them. Kids got super happy about them. But adults got even more happy about them.
Like, that's serious business, getting those things.
Yes, and people were serious collectors about them, and it kind of got to be scary at some points where people were fighting in the parking lot about, I was in line before you, you know, so that's kind of, that was a trend.
Yes,
you know,
okay.
that was,
Got it. Thank
so
you.
I don't like to follow those kinds of things, but I want people to think that they're getting something that is, it's current, but it's not Beanie Baby current. It's something that's going to stand the test of time. So if they come in, say they're looking for a handbag, I want to provide to them a handbag that is on trend, but it still has a classic look that if they want to carry it, you know, say they carry it for this fall and this winter, next fall and next winter, it's still going to be a style that's in style.
Okay.
Because it's on trend but not trendy.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, that makes sense. That's a hysterical analogy with Beanie Babies, but I love it. Growing up, I'm guessing, I probably shouldn't, but I'm guessing as a little girl you liked to play dress up or wear makeup or put on the fun stuff. Was it your dream to own your own store, or is it just something that grew over time?
It was a dream of mine to own my own store. When I first started out, my first job as a 16-year-old was working in a gift store.
Okay.
My first kind of grown-up job where I got into management, I worked for The Gap. And that's where I started with my management roots and really learning about, you know, the great customer service and all your checks and balances as far as, you know, loss prevention and how to turn product and how to read P&Ls and things like that. So I've constantly been in retail my whole entire life and just learning all the behind the scenes types of things.
Sure.
When I really got super passionate about having my own store was when I learned what not to do. So when I would do something the wrong way and then I would see what the consequence of that was, and I would file that away in my head to say, I learned something from that and I saw that wasn't the right way to do it, and so I cost the company money or, you know, whatever the lesson was from that. So I need to do better next time. I would file those little things away, and that made me more passionate about doing my job better. But then I also knew if I did this for myself, I would know the right way and the wrong way to go about things. And then I also learned, even though companies that I worked for were big companies who had a lot of time behind them, they didn't always do things right for the customer. So when you would speak up and say, hey, you know, the customer is asking for this, or this would be something that worked better for the customer, or this would be something that would retain the customer for longer, those big companies didn't listen. Or by the time they did listen, it was months later and it didn't affect the customer anymore.
Okay.
So I knew I could do things that would impact my customers if I had my own store. It would impact my customers right away.
Sure.
So again, filing that away to one day, if I could ever have my own business, now I can utilize all those things that I've learned to impact my business right away, to impact my customer right away.
Yeah.
You know, now if I have a customer who comes in and they say, you know, I saw this when I was traveling, or have you ever considered doing, you know, whatever it is, I can think about those things and I can make an impact maybe even the next day or a couple weeks from then, and call those customers back and let them know, hey, I have this now, or we're doing this now, and then they come back.
That's very cool. How has your experience been with the community? I know you were delayed in opening, and then there's that little shutdown thing, but you've used social media to a huge advantage to keep the store open, to keep products flowing, and keep engaging their customers. How has the community at large responded to the store and what you're doing on social media? What's the response been?
If it weren't for all my regular customers who are in Medina and the surrounding areas, we would not have survived this pandemic.
Okay.
So I have to give a huge thank you again to all my regular customers that keep shopping with us. We would not have survived.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have lasted past June had it not been for my regular customers, because, you know, your first year, normally businesses don't make money.
Right.
You know, you're just trying to keep up with the process. And that was just at our 1 year mark when all this happened.
Yeah.
So using social media obviously has helped us a lot. We have a lot of really loyal followers who either follow us on social media and our live sales, or who come in all the time. So when they could no longer come in, they were calling, or they were emailing me, or they were messaging me on Facebook saying, I need a birthday gift, I needed an Easter basket, I needed something for my mom for Mother's Day. And those were the opportunities that we could use to get those items for those people. I mean, I was texting pictures, you know, photographs to them saying, what do you like, this one or this one, for that gift that they needed, that gift for that person. So that kept us alive.
Yeah.
There are so many loyal people around here. I just can't believe it. I can't believe it.
That's fantastic. I'm glad to hear that.
Had this happened, you know, back in the 80s or the 90s, we would not have survived.
Yeah.
So thank goodness for technology.
Yeah.
You know, I used to hate technology, but I am embracing it now because, and thank goodness for my husband.
I think we have to.
Because technology is not always a friend to me, and I get super frustrated. And he's just like, calm down, we'll restart it. Calm down, I'll reboot it. And then he makes everything better.
That's awesome. So you're sole proprietor. I mean, I know your husband helps you out a lot. Do you ever get a chance to close the store, get away for a day, take a Jeanine moment, or is it 24/7 Heart and Soul Gift Boutique?
It's 24/7. I mean, you know, like right now, I have someone manning the store for me for the last couple hours of the day. I have employees, and they give me time away from the store. And time away from the store for me means I get to put all my reorders in, I get to speak to vendors, I get to make the schedule and pay bills and things like that. I'm not really counting on having any Jeanine time for, you know, maybe the next couple years.
So no hobbies, no big trips, no time to sit down and crochet.
No. We do have our pets. I mean, my husband and I are really into our animals. Right now we have 3 dogs and 3 cats, so that keeps us going. But yeah, right now we're just worried about keeping this one location that we have just up and running and doing the best that we possibly can with it.
Yeah. So that sounds like maybe in the future there might be other locations. Is that the dream?
We were actually hoping, if the pandemic wouldn't have hit, we were going to open another location this year.
Oh, really?
But because of the pandemic, that's probably not going to happen. I mean, maybe next year, but I'm thinking more like the year after it.
Yeah.
But it all depends on what location we can find.
Sure.
We had a location scoped out, and that fell through because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So we have to scout out another location. But, you know, it all depends on how things appear in the meantime.
That's kind of how it is daily anymore, you know? Oh my gosh. Well, Jeanine, if people want more information on Heart and Soul Gift Boutique, what's the best way for them to find out about the shop your hours, your products? Where should they go?
I would say definitely Facebook is our best option right now. We do have a website. I don't currently sell product off the website right now. We will be selling product off the website, I would say within the next month, that'll be up and running. But just going to Heart and Soul Gift Boutique on Facebook, they can find out about our hours there. They can see whatever specials we might be running. We always have some different kind of promotion going every single week.
Yeah.
We do Facebook Lives almost every Sunday night. So Sunday night, just go onto our Facebook page. We'll have a live. It comes up at 8 o'clock. And you'd be the first person to see any new merchandise that comes in that way.
Oh, cool. All right.
We do promotions every Sunday night on our lives. And then we also do, like if we have clearance product that we're trying to get through, we do that on Sunday nights as well.
Very cool. Real quick, the holidays are coming up. We have new holiday merchandise.
Yes.
What's one of your favorite products that you're able to bring in this year?
Well, product-wise, I have a lot of really cute stuff coming in product-wise.
Yeah.
There's one trendy kind of color right now for the holidays that I bought kind of light in it just to see how Medina would respond to it. As far as holiday decor in Medina, I know Medina is a little bit more traditional.
Yes.
So I just did light with this one particular color. But I'm doing a lot of different promotions for the holidays. So there's some things that people will get to see over the course of like the candlelight walk that we're doing over 8 weeks. Is it that we're doing it?
Yeah.
Or 8 weekish. So there's going to be.
Why not?
Yeah. So there's going to be promotions that are tied back to that. There's going to be one particular thing that we're doing to kind of like a VIP thing for our customers.
Oh, cool. Nice.
And then there's going to be other promotions that are kind of like stocking stuffer-ish thing that people will be able to get on special prices. So we will not be short in the special gift area, I guess you could say, for this holiday season, on top of decor and stuff like that.
Well, great. Jeanine, it's always a pleasure. We look forward to visiting the store and seeing what you bring in.
Thank you so much. Happy holidays early.